Welcome to Everything is Awkward with Sam and Haley.
Consider this our little corner to share our most questionable parenting moments so you're able to feel better about your own life.
If you want advice, well, we aren't it. We're just two moms with aggressive top knots, open hearts, and bribery candy trying to figure out this parenting circus and remind you that you're doing great.
Actually, we have no idea, but just go with it. In a previous episode, when I shared a traumatizing story about milking myself into a public toilet, it clearly struck a chord.
You made sure it's almond milk this time.
Dozens of parents out there volunteered their tales from the breastfeeding trenches, fondly recalling the times they've milked themselves into Sonic cups, bathroom sinks, urine sample collectors, and, in at least 2 cases, into the arms of a helpful bestie. Those of us blessed enough to have milk-filled bosoms have, it seems, frequently found that our cup runneth over, and we have no choice but to use the world as our pumping receptacle. So we've rounded up the best stories here of boobs fit to burst.
Oh yeah!
And the extreme measures taken to address an escalating situation. Enjoy.
And now we hear from Megan.
My first baby was around 8 weeks old. My husband and I had a bunch of friends coming in town for the big Texas Tech vs. Baylor game.
Let's drink some beer!
We're at the tailgate having a great time when all of a sudden the sounds of a baby crying nearby initiated the letdown. In order to avoid an embarrassing leakage situation, I quickly ran to the car to use my handheld pump. After frantically looking everywhere, it turned out I had forgotten to pack it. Ugh, great. Desperate, I stared at my 2 options, the beer bottle or the Sonic cup. Obviously, I chose the trusty Sonic cup. So, with Sonic cup in hand and all self-respect out the window, I slouched down in the floor of the middle row of our car at Baylor Stadium and I milked myself into a Route 44.
All right, what's up, Susan? Your turn.
First time was in a Starbucks bathroom as I was dying. My dude wouldn't latch and he was like screaming his head off. While my mom was helping me and pointed out, oh, he's hungry.
Duh.
No shit, Mom. I can milk myself. And I can feed my baby. Just lay off. God. All right, Alicia, what do you got?
Exactly 1 month and 2 days after the birth of me rainbow baby, I was ready for my first night out. I had planned to pump in the car. I got the handy car charger plugged in. Then it hit me like a ton of bricks. The cigarette lighter outlet fuse was busted and had been for years. What's the worst that can happen? Now I'm leaking milk and my lower part of my bra is wet. I was contemplating my fate with my friend when a lovely individual, who I could only describe as a pinup girl covered in tattoos,
Bonjour, comment ça va?
came up to me and said she'd been listening and could help. We stood there as she tried to explain to me how to hand express the milk. The thought of massaging my bosom and milking myself had honestly never occurred. My options were walk back to the car or porta potty. I had never spent so much time inside a porta potty, ever.
This is not fun!
I had to poke my head out twice just to ask the pinup girl if I was doing it right. If it wasn't for the pinup girl, my night would have been a bust. Pun intended. All right, Alice, talk about your boobs.
The number of times I've milked myself into sinks or toilets is too high to count. Okay, so you always have to be careful it doesn't shoot on the walls, because then they know. Oh my God, I've had people walk in on me while my boobs are totally out. And I don't even know them. And I'm milking into the sink and it's so embarrassing.
This is just weird.
You're not going to share this with anyone, right?
I have no idea.
All right, Helen, you give it a go.
I was shopping once and had filled up to the point of pain, but baby was sleeping, not really needing a feed whatsoever. I sat in my vehicle with extra breast pads and I had to express milk for 20 minutes in a parking lot. It was painful, messy, and eye-opening. I think I may have had an audience.
How much?
Look away, sir! Nothing to see here. God damn it.
Janet, you're up.
I was on a bachelorette weekend at Joshua Tree with a 4-month-old at home and spent approximately half of the dedicated margarita drinking hours sitting there with a hand pump wringing milk out of my boobs so I didn't lose my breastfeeding superpowers while away. I attempted to freeze and transport some of it home, but when you're out hiking in the desert, there's just no point. I tossed multiple jugs of golden breast milk at some cacti out there, and I'd like to imagine there's a really fucking lush fern growing there today, a little pump and dump oasis out among the pink rocks. Come on down, April. What you got, girl?
Oh, once I milked myself off the porch in the middle of the night, whilst at a futurism retreat up in Omega.
Ah, Nicole.
I've milked into toilets, bushes, faces, and cups. Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do, right?
And now we got Samantha.
My second baby was 8 weeks old. I had a meeting with the head of a magazine about a job as a freelance host and producer. I left my little babe with my mom. It was my first time leaving him for more than an hour stretch, but I had timed the whole thing perfectly in my head. 15-minute drive to the meeting, 1 hour meeting, and a 15-minute drive home. I would be back in time before the next feeding. I arrived at the boutique hotel and parked myself in the lobby bar where this meeting was supposed to go down. My phone rang, and it was the guy's assistant informing me that Daniel was running 45 minutes late from his last meeting, and I should just get a drink at the bar and he would be there as soon as he could. Holy effing shit. I thought about my baby at home without me. My boobs immediately started to tingle and fill up. No. I mean, what was I supposed to do? I called my mom and tried to explain all the parts that go with the pump to see if she could Uber it all to me. Yeah. Not a chance. I quickly got up and raced to the unisex bathroom, stripping down to my bra as milk started leaking out on both sides, getting everywhere. I leaned over the sink and started milking myself, right there in the unisex bathroom at the Viceroy. After that happened, I went out and waited for Daniel as if I just hadn't lived that horror. He arrived, predictably 45 minutes late, and I'm pretty sure that I could smell the dried breast milk on my dress. So there's that. Oh, but I also got the job, so hey.
No stopping us now. What's Jennifer got?
I flew up to San Francisco to pitch a major venture capital fund for the next financing round for my startup Tot Squad, a baby services company. My daughter flew everywhere with me, hitting 6 states by 6 months old. But when she was crawling at 7 months, I decided it was better to leave her at home and just pump on the road. The pitch meeting ran long, ending after 5 p.m., and I urgently needed to pump before heading to that airport. The secretary who manages access to the mother's lounge was already gone for the day, so I really had to awkwardly ask that childless VC bro if there was somewhere I could pump.
Now that's what we came to do.
He set me up in their kitchen. Facepalm. I closed the break room door and realized that it wouldn't lock. Uh-oh, panic. I put the chair back up against it from the inside, and he put some really awkward sign on the other side so no one would bust in on me. Let's just say I didn't get a whole lot of milk out of that session. Also, they passed on the investment.
No thanks. No thanks.
And for the last act, we've got Bella.
I was admitted for emergency surgery to a very busy hospital and been left without a pump or anything for 14 hours when I finally had to hand express on my gurney in front of the nurse's desk. I mean, hello, I said I need a container, and they couldn't figure it out. So what did I grabbed a urine cup. I mean, they're sterile, right? For now.
To moms everywhere, we see you, and we are dying from these stories, so thank you. Cringe factor, 1 million.
100 million. A uterus comes with a lot of responsibility, and there's a special place for us in the afterlife. Just saying.
Amen.
Written by Haley White and Samantha Goodstadt.
Originally published on Romper.com, edited by Janet Manley.
Follow Sam and Haley at Don't Call Me Mommy on Instagram and Facebook.
This is a Spudnik Media production.
Produced by LNA, co-produced by Tim Tutrello.
Sound mix by Mike Shue.
Original theme song by Jonathan Byram.
Special thanks to Kami Asghar, Richard Burnett, and Sam Fan.
Sputnik Media.